What's up, YouTube? Capital G here, Attondel commentary. We got Kenny K, 1712 versus Cloud Strife, 189. It's like the ultimate battle between players who will not give up on their decks. Cloud Strife has been playing Satellardolls for forever, and he continues to play them. Kenny K was playing Infernoids for a while, and then he started using Necros, and then I think his heart just said, you don't really like this shit. You want to go back to Infernoids because you love us. Maybe he was a fan of Lightsworn in the past, and this deck operates kind of similar to Lightsworn, so it looks like we have Anti-Spell Fragrance. Now he activates Vanity's Emptiness. Oh my god, this game is gonna drag on for so long. Excuse me, I'm about to die. Oh my goodness. It's just crazy because neither player is going to be able to do anything. It's so weird seeing Satellardolls use Anti-Spell Fragrance when they're a deck that's completely fusion based and they need fusion spells to help them fusion summon. You know what I mean? Like, I guess they can still exceed and technically synchro, but I don't know. I mean, I get that it hurts Necros, obviously. These two cards really hinder Necros because they just don't have a lot of outs. Now, Kenny K sets a card. I don't know what that could be, honestly. Like, I mean, in his deck, I'm trying to think of, whoa, it's, oh, okay, I guess it's Tellarknight Shadows? I think I played against him using this deck before. I beat the brakes off of him with regular Tellarknights. Well, I guess he can just exceed now, but he doesn't have to. Well, he won't be able to exceed with Vanities on the field unless he finds a way to get that off the field. I think Tellarknights with Anti-Spell Fragrance is way more consistent. Alright, so he flips over Beast and draws 2, has to now discard 1. Gets rid of L because, I mean, take him a long time to be able to use it. He's going to attempt to attack the face. I'm going to call Card Trooper. Oh, how about calling Mirror Force? Oh boy. So obviously Beast dies. It can't trigger because it already used its effect. Deneb will die too. That's another thing I've seen Kenny K. Like, it wouldn't surprise me, but yeah. He plays Mirror Force and Infernoids. He does not main deck that. I know that for a fact. He sides that in because it's so damn unexpected against pretty much like anything that you can think of. Like, if you're playing against Infernoids, the last thing you have to think about is like a trap card, and then of all traps, like, oh shit, Mirror Force, like, where the fuck did that come from? So anyways, blast him with Mirror Force. Again, I don't know what this card could be. If it was a Raiden, you'd think that he just would have normal summoned it, but it can't be a what's it called? It can't be an Infernoid because you can't set them. They have to be. Okay, so it's Lumina. So he's just going to attack. looks like Kenny needs Royal Decree. Alright, during the end phase, he'll mill 3. Now you tell me how good Galaxy Cyclone will be right here for people who think that card isn't the fucking be all end all. That card is gonna be so good when it comes out. I would not be shocked if he attacked into another Mirror Force, honestly. Nope, guess not. Because if he had Galaxy Cyclone and he milled it, he'd be able to just blow this up and then blow up the Vanity's Emptiness as well. And it would just, that's too good, man. That's too good. Okay, Snatch Steel Sighting. And that's really bad if you're Cloud Strife because now you could potentially not have a monster and be locked under Vanities, and that's no good. Although with Satellardolls, I mean, Satellardolls have a lot of good answers to Snatch Steel, like Mathematician or something like that. Okay, so he activates Reinforcements of the Army. I'm going to assume for Altair, because Vanity's Emptiness is now gone. Okay, so Vanities is gone. And probably going to go for Deneb. Now, the thing is, Kenny K really doesn't have much committed to the board, so I don't know, man. I mean, giving up that Vanities means you may have opened the floodgates open to, you know, Blaster and Onu and the whole gang to just come about and wreck you. So he's going to activate L. Uh-oh. Don't call it an OTK, but there's a chance he can get OTK'd because I assume he will definitely use Dragon and pop that Snatch Steal so that he can get his monster back. Yeah, I would be shocked if he did not do that. He searches Falco. There's the Dragon. Alright, so I expect Snatch Steal to get... Oh no, he goes after the back row. What? Why? I guess he figures no spells. Oh, and that's what I was thinking. I was like, well, Kenny K does have to set reasoning, which really sucks. I guess he could still just cast Tell It. Yeah, I mean, I guess he could cast Tell It, but I don't know. Alright, so he goes after the back row regardless. I guess he figures he's gonna be able to kill Altair, and maybe he wouldn't be able to OTK him anyway. He did use Altair's effect after all, so. He forgot to get the 1000 from Snatch Steal. Alright, so he's not going to attack. I guess he'll just make Castel instead of attacking, maybe. That way he gets his Altair back anyways. Nope. Looks like he's going to instead of doing that, he's going to take a couple of cards from his graveyard. So I guess he's content leaving him with Altair. And that was one thing I actually thought about. I thought about the fact that Cloud Strife would, that Kenny K would have to set reasoning. I was like, well, reasoning could clearly bail him out if he has, if he gets rid of the vanities, but then he has to set it. So, you know, that leaves him susceptible to Dragon. Dragon just seems really, really good if, you have Anti-Spell Fragrance. You know what I mean? Like Anti-Spell Fragrance plus Dragon, you just get the pop stuff, and you know your opponent might be setting important traps, or important spells that they need. So I'm actually running Anti-Spell Fragrance right now on Satellardolls. I'm actually liking it because with Necros, they have to set their spells, and usually they can't, like during their first turn, they can't do anything but Manju, and it leaves them very vulnerable for you to just like Trevor them and then bounce everything back, and it set them back a turn, and then Trevor can start taking cards out of their hand. And usually after you drop Trevor, you're going to win because they have to wait another turn to reset their spells, and that's another card that Trevor takes out of their hand. So like really they don't get to summon until like their third turn at the earliest. And if you're going to tell me that Necros aren't going to summon a ritual monster until their third turn, like I'm going to say that Satellardolls are probably going to win that game. And that doesn't even account like all your other back row. You know what I mean? Like if you have Mind Crush or like Alpha Nova, or any cards that just counter like the normal summon monsters. You know what I mean? Like Anti-Spell Fragrance seems really good against that deck. And then against Cleafort, they can't play Pendulum Scale, so they can't play Scout, which like hurts the deck a ton. And generally they just have to like normal summon. They can't even activate their sacrifice during their first turn. Like they have to wait, which means they become very susceptible to just Mirror Force and Torrential and like all the other battle traps and ways of stopping Cleafort monsters. Because the Pendulum is what makes the deck like so potent and powerful, is that you can Mirror Force them, and then they can be like, oh, okay, well, you Mirror Force us, but we'll get our guys right back. So you haven't really stopped our momentum because we've just gotten our field presence completely back. Now, I assume that he has 2 Infernoids in the graveyard and he wants to take them both out. But what would be bad for Cloud Strife is if Kenny K actually top decks something like, I don't know, another Raiden or something like that. Or Illumina would be, my goodness, Illumina would be the nuts, because then he could get rid of his spells, and then he could get rid of his spells out of his hand, and he could turn that into like a Raiden that's in the graveyard, which we already know he has 1 Raiden. So he takes out 2 of his Infernoids. He only has 6 cards in his grave, so it's probably the only 2 back. The only 2 in the graveyard. And now he passes to Kenny K with no further plays. Now, 1 Lumen is dead already. I think that Anti-Spell Fragrance is really hurting Kenny K. I'm not sure if he has really any answers to that card, to be honest. Obviously, he can kill the what's it called? The Rhapsody of Berserk, but is that the problem, though? I don't think that is. Oh boy, he's got Attondel, Mr. Double Attacker. I don't know what's in his graveyard. I guess he'll start banishing from his hand. He does. And oh man, he got the Lumina. I think this is really, really big. I don't know all the plays that he can do, but oh, okay. he's countered with oh no, wait. He can totally chain. I totally forgot about that. All he has to do is just chain. He can chain and take the Lumina off field. It depends on when he uses Effect Veiler. If he uses Effect Veiler like on the summon or on the effect, because all he has to do is, what's it called? Wait. No, I might be lunching. I might be thinking of Skill Drain. No, okay, I wasn't lunching. Yeah, now that Lumina's off field, she totally is going to resolve, which means he can get, what's that dude? Raiden? Yeah, he can get Raiden now. And he gets to banish the Deneb, which, if that's the only Deneb in Cloud Strife's graveyard, this is really bad. Oh, he gets another Lumina. Oh, he's going to get rid of the card in his hand too. So yeah, he gets rid of, what's his last card in hand? I'm going to say it's an Infernoid. Oh, okay, it's Raiden. So he just summons the Raiden. So he'll mill 2, and then he'll start opening up Cloud Strife. Oh yeah, that's the end of that game. What I think was going to happen, I think he was going to make Michael. I think he was going to get rid of Construct, and then he would have been able to attack with Attondel. He would have been able to attack a second time because this would have went to the graveyard. And then what's it called? He would have hit him with a direct attack from Altair, and then hit him for another, what is Michael, 26? Another 26 from Michael. So I think it just would have been an OTK. And then the only card in Cloud Strife's hand, if I'm not mistaken, would have been an Altair, which it wouldn't have done anything because he lost his Deneb in the graveyard. And even if he had another Deneb, Kenny K could have just launched the Altair to make sure that the Deneb just got banished. So he would have just been, his only out would have been Shadow Fusion, but he wasn't going to live through that turn anyway. So Kenny K looking quite impressive, despite the fact that he had to go through Anti-Spell Fragrance and 2 Vanity's Emptinesses. That's definitely not easy. Thank you guys for watching as always.